Mousse cakes are a true delight for the senses. They combine the best of two worlds, cake and mousse. The result is a dessert that's both light and rich. It's airy yet indulgent. The beauty of a mousse cake lies in its layers. You start with a soft, tender cake base. Then comes the star of the show, the mousse. It's light, fluffy, and bursting with flavor. Some recipes add a third layer of ganache on top. This adds a touch of luxury and a beautiful shine. In this guide, we'll break down each step. So let's roll up our sleeves and dive into the wonderful world of mousse cakes. Before we start baking, it's important to gather all our ingredients and tools. This ensures that the process goes smoothly, and we don't miss any crucial steps. For the cake base, you'll need flour, sugar, butter, eggs, and milk. Don't forget baking powder and a pinch of salt. These basic ingredients will form the foundation of our cake. For flavoring, vanilla extract works wonderfully. It adds a subtle yet delightful aroma and taste. For the mousse, you'll need heavy cream, sugar, and gelatin. The sugar sweetens the mousse, while the gelatin helps set the mousse, giving it that perfect, airy texture. You'll also need your chosen flavoring. This could be anything from vanilla to coffee, depending on your preference. This could be melted chocolate for a classic chocolate mousse, or fruit puree for a fruity version. The choice of flavoring can really personalize your mousse cake. If you're making a ganache topping, you'll need more cream and chocolate. The ganache adds a rich, glossy finish to your cake. You'll need mixing bowls, a whisk, and a spatula. These tools are essential for combining your ingredients smoothly. An electric mixer is very helpful, but not essential. It can save you a lot of time and effort, especially when whipping cream. A springform pan is perfect for assembling the mousse cake. Its removable sides make it easy to release the cake without damaging it. With all these ingredients and tools ready, we're all set to start our mousse cake adventure. Let's dive into the process and create something delicious together. Let's start with the foundation of our mousse cake, the cake base. A good cake base is essential for any layered dessert, providing the structure and flavor that will complement the mousse. First, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This ensures that your cake bakes evenly and rises properly. Grease your cake pan and line it with parchment paper. This step is crucial to prevent the cake from sticking and to make it easier to remove from the pan later. In a bowl, mix your dry ingredients, flour, baking powder, and a pinch of salt. These ingredients will give your cake the right texture and help it rise. Stir them well to combine. Make sure there are no lumps, as this will ensure an even distribution of the leavening agents. Now let's cream the butter and sugar until light and fluffy. This step is important for incorporating air into the batter, which will make your cake light and tender. Add your eggs one at a time, beating well after each addition. This helps to emulsify the batter and ensures a smooth, even texture. Add your vanilla extract now. This will add a wonderful aroma and enhance the flavor of your cake. Now we'll add our dry ingredients and milk in stages. This method helps to prevent the batter from curdling and ensures a smooth mixture. Add a third of the flour mixture, then half the milk. This gradual addition helps to maintain the batter's consistency. Repeat this until everything is combined. Be sure to scrape down the sides of the bowl to incorporate all the ingredients. Be careful not to overmix. Overmixing can result in a dense, tough cake. Pour your batter into the prepared pan. Make sure to spread it evenly to ensure a uniform bake. Smooth the top with a spatula. This will help the cake bake evenly and give it a nice flat surface. Bake for about 25-30 minutes. Keep an eye on it towards the end of the baking time to avoid overbaking. You'll know it's done when a skewer inserted in the center comes out clean. This means the cake is fully baked and ready to be taken out of the oven. Let it cool in the pan for 10 minutes. This allows the cake to set and makes it easier to handle. Then remove it and let it cool completely on a wire rack. Cooling it completely ensures that it will be firm enough to handle and decorate. Your perfect cake base is ready. Now you have a solid foundation for your mousse cake, ready to be layered and decorated to your heart's content. Now for the star of our show, the mousse. This delightful dessert is both light and rich, making it a perfect treat for any occasion. First, we need to bloom the gelatin. Sprinkle it over a little cold water in a small bowl. Let it sit for about 5 minutes. This step is crucial as it ensures the gelatin will dissolve smoothly later on. While that's happening, let's prepare our other ingredients. Gather everything you need so that the process flows seamlessly. If you're making chocolate mousse, melt your chocolate now. Use a double boiler or microwave in short bursts, stirring frequently to avoid burning. For fruit mousse, prepare your fruit puree. Blend it until smooth and strain it to remove any seeds. This will give your mousse a silky texture. Now let's dissolve our bloomed gelatin. Heat it gently until it's completely liquid. Be careful not to overheat, as this can affect the gelatin's setting properties. Time to whip the cream. In a large bowl, combine heavy cream, sugar, and vanilla. Whip until soft peaks form. This will give your mousse its airy, light texture. Now comes the tricky part. Fold a third of the whipped cream into the melted chocolate or fruit puree. This helps to lighten the mixture before adding the rest of the cream. Gently fold in the rest of the whipped cream and the dissolved gelatin. Take your time with this step to maintain the mousse's airy texture. Your mousse should be light and fluffy, ready to be poured over your cake base. Let it set in the refrigerator for a few hours before serving. Enjoy your dreamy creation. Now comes the exciting part. Assembling our mousse cake. First, make sure your cake base is completely cool. Place your cooled cake base in a springform pan. If your cake is thicker than you'd like, you can slice it in half horizontally. Use only one layer as the base. Next, pour your prepared mousse over the cake base. Use a spatula to smooth the top. Make sure the mousse reaches all the edges of the pan. Give the pan a gentle shake to settle the mousse and remove any air bubbles. Cover the pan with plastic wrap. Place the cake in the refrigerator. It needs at least 4 hours to set properly. Overnight is even better. Remember, a well-set mousse is key to a perfect mousse cake. Don't rush this step. A ganache topping adds a touch of luxury to your mousse cake. To make ganache, you need equal parts cream and chocolate. Use high-quality chocolate for the best flavor. Chop the chocolate finely and place it in a heat-proof bowl. Heat the cream in a saucepan until it just starts to simmer. Pour the hot cream over the chopped chocolate. Let it sit for a minute, then stir gently until smooth. Let your ganache cool slightly. Take your set mousse cake out of the refrigerator. Carefully remove the sides of the springform pan. Pour the ganache over the top of the mousse. Use an offset spatula to spread it evenly. Return the cake to the refrigerator to set the ganache. Your mousse cake is almost ready for its grand reveal. Chilling and setting your mousse cake is crucial. The refrigerator is your best friend in this process. It needs to be cold enough to set the gelatin in the mousse. Aim for a temperature between 35 degrees Fahrenheit to 38 degrees Fahrenheit, 1.6 degrees Celsius to 3.3 degrees Celsius. Give your cake at least 4 hours to set. Overnight is even better. During this time, the mousse will firm up. The cake base will also absorb some moisture. If you've added a ganache topping, it will set to a beautiful shine. Use this waiting time wisely. When the time comes to reveal your creation, you'll be glad you were patient. The moment of truth has arrived. It's time to present your mousse cake. Remove it from the refrigerator about 30 minutes before serving. This allows it to soften slightly. If you used a springform pan, carefully remove the sides. You can keep it simple or go all out. A dusting of cocoa powder or powdered sugar looks elegant. Fresh fruit or chocolate shavings make lovely toppings. For a professional touch, warm your knife before cutting. Dip it in hot water and wipe it dry. This helps you get clean, neat slices. Present your mousse cake on a pretty cake stand or plate. Now it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Serve your mousse cake with pride. Success in making mousse cakes comes with practice. Here are some tips to help you along. Always use room temperature ingredients for the cake base. For the mousse, make sure your cream is cold. When working with gelatin, be gentle. If you're using chocolate, choose a good quality one. For fruit mousses, use ripe, flavorful fruit. Be careful not to overmix your mousse. Fold gently to keep it light and airy. If your cake base is domed, trim it flat. When adding the mousse layer, pour it in the center. Let it spread naturally to the edges. Lastly, don't rush the chilling process. A well-set mousse cake is worth the wait. One of the joys of mousse cakes is their versatility. Once you've mastered the basic technique, you can play with flavors. Chocolate is a classic choice. You can use dark, milk, or white chocolate. Each gives a different flavor profile. Fruit mousses open up a world of possibilities. Strawberry, raspberry, and mango are popular choices. Passion fruit gives a tangy twist. Peach or apricot make lovely summer desserts. For something different, try coffee or caramel mousse, matcha or green tea. Mousse is another interesting option. Nut-based mousses like hazelnut or pistachio are delicious too. You can flavor the cake base to complement your mousse. The possibilities are endless. Let your imagination run wild. When it comes to serving your mousse cake, simplicity is often best. The cake itself is the star. A simple garnish of fresh berries or mint leaves can add a nice touch. If you're serving a chocolate mousse cake, a dollop of whipped cream balances the richness perfectly. Consider what you're serving with the cake. A light, fruity mousse cake pairs well with a cup of tea. A rich chocolate mousse cake might call for a strong coffee. As for storage, mousse cakes are best eaten within 2 to 3 days. Keep it refrigerated and covered to prevent it from drying out. If you have leftover slices, store them in an airtight container in the fridge. Enjoy your creation. There's nothing quite like the satisfaction of serving a homemade mousse cake to appreciative guests.